morning. Welcome to TERRA at Home, and we're talking all about TERRA today. We're here with Colleen Zimmermann from TERRA, and we're talking perennials. It's that time of year where people are really just at high interest right now, and you actually have the top 5 right now of the perennials out there.
Yes, I am crazy for perennials. I have tons of perennials in my own garden, and these top 5 are kind of fun and funky and something interesting that you can add to your garden this year.
Oh, very cool. And that's always exciting, especially, again, for someone like you who is just so into kind of tweaking their gardening and adding new perennials here and there. It's always nice to hear kind of what's new and what's out there.
And it's not just for the people who are gardeners either. Like, even if you're not a gardener, these will be interesting to you.
Ah, so there you go. Okay. And sometimes, you know what, you just wake up one day and you're like, this is what I want to do. I know someday I want to get to the point where I really just want to change my property over and be on top of it, like, you know, some real hardcore gardeners are. So, you know, it is kind of exciting to sort of see what's out there.
Yeah.
So let's talk about, let's go to number 1 then.
Number 1 is Dianthus early bird chili.
Okay.
And Dianthus is an early flowering plant, but they've bred them now so that they bloom throughout the summer as well.
Oh, nice.
And it's related to a carnation, so it's like a bright cherry red flower.
Beautiful.
And it's just like a mini carnation.
Oh, isn't that great?
Gorgeous.
So it's pretty hardy?
Yes,
as
very
well,
hardy.
Yeah. Very good. And that's the thing, you know, we're talking about how this cross breeding now with flowers with a lot. I mean, it's amazing what they can come up with. It's, you know, I always think about, okay, so they do this with dogs. Why can't they do it with flowers? They do it with everything now.
They do.
They come up with a really amazing thing.
They do, and one of them is the Ito peony,
okay,
which is a cross between your traditional perennial peony that dies back every year and a tree peony. So the benefit is that you can get fabulous colors of a tree peony, like a yellow peony, with 10-inch blooms.
Oh, that's huge.
So massive blooms. And they'll flower around in June, same time as your regular peonies, but they're extremely hardy.
And that's the thing, a lot of people really appreciate the beauty of it. Peonies are gorgeous, so to have a flower that big, that's like bragging rights on your neighbors.
I know, and the Ito peony, the lollipop, which is a newer variety this year, has got like a stripe to it as well.
Really?
So it's really interesting.
Oh, so cool. Now, okay, so let's move on to the next one.
Veronica First Love is a hot pink flower, great for cut flowers. Lasts really well if you have hot, dry conditions, nice and sunny conditions. It really likes it, and it'll bloom pretty much throughout the summer, starting end of June, July. Okay. And bloom through the heat of the summer, which is
that's the thing. You really have to take sort of an overall look at your garden, and almost each year as well, because things can change too in terms of lighting, especially if you're around large trees that have perhaps grown or whatever. I mean, you really have to take a sort of an overall scape of your garden and see, you know, how much light you're getting, and before you start going out and buying some of these, right?
Especially new homeowners, because when you first move in, you have small trees, and the trees do grow. So what once used to be full sun may now have some shade to it.
So you have to kind of, and again, you guys are always really helpful with that kind of stuff. People can come and say, you know, I've got one whole half of my garden is just pretty much in shade the entire day. Can I grow anything there? And yeah, sure there is something, right?
Yes.
So,
the next one, actually, Trades Cancia Sunshine Charm, can grow in the shade, and it's got a beautiful chartreuse grass-like leaf to it, but it's got a lavender purple bloom to it.
Oh, beautiful.
And it's just stunning. The contrast between the flower and the leaves are amazing.
Yes.
And it's just beautiful.
And that's another thing I guess you have to consider as well is, you know, is color. So when, you know, sometimes when you're buying them, you don't know what they're going to turn into. That's another thing. So you want to look at color and how you're creating your garden, but also in terms of height and everything as well, right? You really want to balance that out so it doesn't look all crazy back there, and then all of a sudden nothing looks pretty, right? Yeah,
and all the selections, with the exception of the peony, are very compact. The peonies typically are a little bit larger, but the Itos are a more compact form. But they are compact varieties, so they do tend to grow well in smaller areas, and they don't get out of control as much.
Okay, so yeah, that's good. There's so many factors at play here.
There's a lot.
Yeah, when you're putting these together. Okay, so that's the next one.
And then the last one is Echinacea Powwow Wildberry.
This one just sounds like I should be drinking it from a shake or something. So, we'll describe this one.
Great. It's a purple coneflower, a relative of the purple coneflowers, which they have done fabulous hybrids lately. They even have like red purple coneflowers now, so you almost can't call them coneflowers and purple coneflowers anymore. Yeah. But the Powwow Wildberry is a more compact variety, a very good bloomer, and it holds its color really well throughout the summer. And it'll start blooming about mid-July on and right until frost.
Oh wow! See, that's the thing. When you know, especially when you're getting into perennials, you expect to have some longevity out of it. We're starting to see where our seasons are getting a little bit warmer, and maybe starting a little earlier and staying with us a little later. Because I mean, I'm finding even November now, you're starting to you still have some warmth out there. So if you can drag these out as long as possible, then why not, right?
Yeah, and a lot of the hybridizers, when they're coming up with new varieties, they are trying to go for longevity of bloom. Because one thing with perennial gardening is that it's a transitional garden. So there's something changing and something blooming all the time.
Right.
So with the top 5, you go from spring all the way through until fall with something different blooming.
Okay.
So there'll be some a little bit of overlap, but then it's that nice change effect. So there's something different every time you look into it.
That's what I like about it. And again, you know, someone like myself who's looking at it from, you know, an inexperienced perspective, putting together a perennial garden, if, you know, with someone coming in to talk to you, there's so many factors at play that it slightly stresses me out because, you know, you do have to really consider that, right? You have to consider that it is changing and, you know, developing throughout the season, and you want to make sure you have color at all times if you can.
Yeah, so one thing, when you do come shopping, make sure that you don't buy everything in bloom at the same time. Okay. Like if you come and buy everything in bloom, then it'll be done, you know, like a month later.
Right.
And then you won't have anything.
Right.
So the good idea, talk to the people at TERRA, and they will be able to help you get blooms throughout the whole season, and even have some winter interest as well. Like the echinacea, once the winter hits, then it's really good to leave the seed heads. The birds like the seed heads as well, so it attracts your birds to your garden.
Yeah.
And then it gives you a little bit of winter interest too with that.
Okay, that makes sense. Now, in terms of you know, maintenance out in a perennial garden, I mean, I guess different plants have different needs, but is a lot of maintenance? Is it a daily thing?
Not a daily thing.
Okay.
No. Usually once every couple weeks you can go out.
Okay.
It's definitely not as much maintenance as what a lot of people think.
Yeah.
Because they do their own thing and they come back year after year, which is nice, so you don't have to plant them every year.
That is bonus.
And with the new varieties too, since they are more compact, they're not going to spread and get gangly on you. You don't have to separate them every other year, and so they're really hardy that way.
Fertilizers. Are there specific ones that you think, you know, do you have to fertilize your perennials?
It's a good idea to fertilize because they are, especially the ones that are really heavy bloomers, and you want to use a fertilizer that's just got a higher middle number, and that's for your bloom.
Oh, okay, and that's the thing, right? Because there's so many specifics, but it really is an ever-changing, kind of ever-evolving, you know, process. Especially you knowing, having your own garden. What of the top 5 are you putting any of those in your garden this year?
Probably everyone.
I love
peony in particular, I think, just the size of the blooms.
So do you create a new space for it, or you kind of pull something out, or what do you do?
Well, there's always something that, especially in some winters, you know, there's always something that dies back a little bit, so it makes space for something else. Yeah. Every fall I say that I don't have any room in my garden, but I always find room.
I've heard people say that before, and that's what I love about it. You just find a way, right?
There's always space. You find it, you look at it, you buy it, you find someplace.
All right, well, this is the great part is the perennials are happening at TERRA right now. Come in, and again, of course, through May, I mean, this is when everyone starts. So we're still kind of focusing on maybe waiting until May to plant. Just be careful of frost, and away you go.
Yep, exactly.
Very good. Colleen, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
It's always so great to have her on the show. We'll be back with more TERRA at home right after this.
Live color fully at TERRA, where color lives.
Finding it hard to grow grass from seed in shaded areas, along the driveway, and where the kids play? Try Scott's Turf Builder Easy Seed, a high-performance mix of Scott's best grass seed, fertilizer, and a super absorbent growing material that helps keep seeds moist. Now you can get a thick, green Scott's lawn even if you've never been successful with other seed before. Scott's Turf Builder Easy Seed grows grass anywhere, guaranteed. And try new Easy Seed Dog Spot Repair to eliminate pet damage.
Welcome back to Terra at Home. Today we're at a cute little shop called Bling on King Street here in downtown Dundas. And of course, as we move through spring into summer, we're going to be talking about the wedding season. And well, it's just kind of fun, even if you've already been married, just like fun to look at. So we're here with Catherine Dinny, and this beautiful little shop of yours opened almost a year now.
That's right.
And we obviously want to focus a little bit on sort of the concepts and sort of the trends behind weddings right now. So, you know, what are we looking at in terms of, you know, jewelry? And I mean, we joined Heirloom Bridal a little while ago, and we were talking about some of the dresses. So obviously all this kind of works together.
That's right.
So what are you seeing?
Well, we have a great line of jewelry, and that's great for all types of wedding dresses, whether it's a princess line or something strapless. And our line of jewelry is all silver plated, and the great thing about it, it's actually Canadian made. And it's designed by a woman in Montreal, and her name's Catherine. Her line is called Queen's Dowry. K by Design is her label. And it's all silver plated pieces with Swarovski crystal. There's about 6 different necklaces, 6 different bracelets, and 3 pairs of earrings that the brides can choose from.
It's beautiful.
And it's a whole mix and match grouping.
I love that.
And it's very beautiful.
And you know what's great about it is, guys, really that's still that vintage throwback, right?
Yes.
You're seeing with a lot of the jewelry right now.
And there's pearls in it, crystals in it, and really great for all types of dresses and brides.
And what's great, I guess, if people are looking for a certain piece, they can order it with you, right?
They
so it's
can.
not like that's the last piece
That's
and
right.
they have to panic, right?
Yes, there's about a 2-day turnaround, and of course with it being Canadian made, yes.
And you're seeing that one thing that, you know, we've learned as well with the dresses. We were noticing that they were adding a lot to dresses, so getting a very plain dress and then adding something to it. So that is all part of that, right? Just
That's
kind of
right.
making that dress your own.
That's right.
By how you choose your jewelry.
Yes, and some of the girls don't want to wear a necklace, they just want a nice pair of earrings, or they just want a nice big bracelet with the earrings. So we have all that's covered.
And yeah, the dresses, of course, being a lot of them still very strapless, so
Yeah.
you can get that focal piece with the
That's
earrings, as
right.
you say, or
That's
whatever.
right.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about some of the handbags, because that's also, you know, again, it's all part of the whole overall package.
That's
and some
right.
really beautiful handbags.
Yes, and of course the handbags are available in the white or in ivory, and we have a lot of satin. We have some handbags that have rhinestones on them, some with hard cases and soft cases. So we have a lot to choose from for whatever style the bride wants.
And again, kind of a throwback as well. You're seeing with a lot of them as well with styles. And again, I think probably always with weddings you see a fair amount of sparkle.
That's right.
That kind of has never really gone away, right? But right now sparkle still exists even during the day. So, you know, why not? You can use it at any time, right? As a bride.
I don't think girls or young ladies ever tire of a little bit of bling.
No,
that's for
I know.
sure.
I personally don't. I would bling everything if I could. So it's kind of nice. All right. So also headpieces. People are girls wearing the tiaras and the headbands and that right now?
Yes, they are. Tiaras are still popular, and of course, fascinators extremely popular.
Right.
Yeah.
So okay, so that's kind of a little bit of the indicative of the big wedding, right?
That's right.
Over in the UK that we all know of. So fascinators being again a lot of the sort of the eyelet and the pretty little
A lot of netting
lace
on them,
and
and a lot of feathers.
Okay.
And they all come on a headband, so it'll stay in the hair, and don't have to worry about anything falling out. Yeah. And with netting, of course, or without the netting.
Yeah. And are you finding you're seeing more of that than a typical veil now?
Yes. Yes. And then a lot of tiaras are just combs with a little bit of crystal on it too.
Okay. So with brides, of course, we should also talk about bridesmaids, and that all comes hand in hand. So a lot of brides really wanting to take care of their bridesmaids, that they're friends, so they want to almost use the jewelry that they're going to be wearing as their gift.
That's right, and they often want 5, 6 pieces of the same type of jewelry.
Right.
So we have another great Canadian-made line, and it's with Swarovski crystal and silver, and the artisan is able to make up 5, 6 pieces matching the same, which is great.
And that's handy too, because you end up, sometimes it's been hard, especially locally around our region, around the Golden Horseshoe, to find a place. People are always going east or going, you know, elsewhere to find jewelry that enough for their entire bridesmaids. So now it's local. Now you can do that.
That's right.
And choosing colors, variations of colors, beautiful colors.
Yeah, and the nice thing is she has crystals in every single color palette, so we can get any colors that the brides want to match their bridesmaids' dresses.
That's a huge relief for brides, so that's actually really, really nice. And of course, the mother of the bride, you can obviously find jewelry there.
Oh, we have a lot of fashion jewelry in crystals, silver, gold. So we have many pieces that the mother of the bride can choose from too.
Now let's talk about these really neat sort of scarf combinations with jewelry look that you have going on here. I've never seen this before.
Yes, these are new. We just got these in about 6 months ago. They're made in Marbella, Spain, by a designer called Anastasia Benitez. And all the jewels on the front of the scarves are silver plated, and along the edges too, they're silver jewels hanging down. And the scarves can be worn in many different ways with a scarf, or it can be worn open as a shawl. She doesn't crimp the ends, so they can all be worn open too. And like I said, the jewels are all silver plated, and each one is unique and each one is different. So there's about 6, 7 different ways that those scarves can be worn. And of course, we've even come up with some of our own ways to wear it, so your imagination can kind of go wild.
That's
with
what's
some of
great
these.
about it, right?
Yes.
And because of again with the jewels on the bottom, it kind of gives it some weight too,
It does,
right?
yes.
So it helps with sort of how you're designing it and planning. You know, there's so many options, especially I think for people going away, and even say that the bride going away, that's something great to take away to a resort or a cruise. Or
Well, we've often sold them to ladies that don't want to wear any jewelry, because the jewel on the front of the scarf acts as its own jewelry.
It would,
So it's very simple, and it's an easy way to embellish your outfit. And they come in about 6, 7 different colors, and then new spring colors are coming in.
Really?
Yeah. In
I love
April.
that.
Yeah.
So that's the great part, right? So now we're finally finding the nice, fresh spring colors. There's a lot of colors still out there.
That's
so,
right.
Even moving from bridal and through your shop, the great part about it is, of course, again, the access to color, and also you have Pandora here too. So we should mention that. A lot of people who do collect Pandora charms, again, it's, you want to be able to find that special charm, and you have a lot of them.
We have a great selection of Pandora charms, and we have many, many different ones in the Murano glass. We have all the silver ones and the silver and gold, leather bracelets, the double, single leather bracelets, and the silver barrel clasp. And great selection, especially with Mother's Day coming up. We have a lot of charms that are perfect for mom.
It's a perfect Mother's Day thing.
Yes.
I actually received a Pandora's bracelet for Mother's Day about a couple of years. I think it was last year or the year before. I've already forgotten. That's what happens when you have a toddler. You forget everything. But so it's actually a great gift idea. And it's also, a lot of people have been using that as a wedding gift as well.
That's right.
For even little flower girls and stuff, right?
That's right. We've been selling them a lot to moms buying them for their daughters, and some of them fairly young as 7, 8 years old. So it's a great gift. They're
Start
very
the collection
lucky.
early. Very lucky
little girls. Yeah.
Well.
Yeah. And there's a lot of charms related to bridal too. So there's some nice ones to choose from.
Oh,
yes.
I love that.
Yeah.
All right, so you are located here down on King Street in Dundas, and people come and visit you. And again, if you are a bride-to-be, bridesmaids, you can come in and have some fun and really take a look at what you're doing. Obviously, once you get your dress, then it's really fun from there, right?
Yeah.
The dress part's stressful.
That's right. And we do have a little change room in the back. So if anybody ever wants to bring their outfit in, moms or the bridesmaids, or even if you're just going out for the evening, bring it in, and then it's great. You can try things on.
Sounds good. Well, thank you so much.
Okay.
Thanks for letting us come in your store, Catherine. All right, we'll be back with more Terra at Home right after this.
This year, get the most out of your lawn with the fertilizer that gives you the most for your money. Scott's Turf Builder. Some brands have filler like sand, sawdust, even gravel, things you don't want on your lawn. Turf Builder has no filler. It's 100% food for a deep feeding you can see, feel, and enjoy. For a lawn that can't be beat, get a fertilizer that can't be copied. Scott's Turf Builder. All food, no filler. And try new Turf Builder Green Max with 3 times the iron for deeper greening.
Welcome back to Terra at Home. Well, we're here in the main kitchen. I'm here with Chef Rachel, and we have something really exciting we want to talk about today. A product that is now available here at Terra. Hibiscus flowers in a syrup, and they're amazing for a variety of different reasons and for uses, including, of course, coming from a jar, eating them.
Right.
So you've come up with some really cool ideas to use these, and I think this is such a great idea.
Right. There's lots of things that you can do with these flowers. Really, I think that they would pair with a variety of different things. So anything you want to try, I think.
Because the flavor base is like raspberry rhubarb, they're saying, right? So you do have a nice flavor profile that you can use across the board, and they're really cool looking.
They are.
They just are.
They're very cool. So we're going to we're going to pair these in one appetizer with some goat cheese and chives. We're going to do some chicken skewers that you can grill on your barbecue. Now that it's nice out, we'll just throw them in the oven here in the kitchen.
Awesome.
And then we can make a cocktail too. Lots of cocktail ideas too.
Woo!
They give you kind of a cocktail guide right on the top of
that's great.
of the jar that you can use. So mojitos and daiquiris and
because
different things like
I've
that.
only had them once, and it was in a cocktail, and I thought it was beautiful. So
Yeah.
you could think about using them for any kind of reception or having people over. There's just so many options. So we'll get to that one a little later on.
Yeah, cooking with flowers is really cool, I think. When I was in Italy, that's the first time that I saw a lot of flowers being used in dishes.
Oh, cool.
So a lot of desserts, they candied them. They did so many things with them.
And they do look pretty, right?
Yeah, just
and it makes
adds a nice
sense for a
touch.
TERRA.
Yeah, exactly.
Cook with flowers.
Exactly. We've got some herbs too that we're going to use in some of these recipes.
Okay.
So it all ties in. So we'll start. This is just a really simple appetizer. Goat cheese. So I have half a log of goat cheese here. So we'll just take a little bit and roll it into a ball.
Okay.
And we'll put each ball in one of the flowers.
Oh, you're putting it inside. Get out of here.
Yeah, we'll sprinkle a little bit of salt and pepper on top, and then we can garnish with a chive.
That's fancy.
So, again, any herb option you want to use, you can flavor your goat cheese balls. You can make herbed goat cheese balls and mix your herbs in with the goat cheese too to make a different variation. I have a nice little herb plate here, garnished.
Okay.
To make it nice to serve. Now these are a little messy because they are in syrup, but basically just open it up.
You just got to get it in there.
Put the ball right in there.
So pretty.
It could be a one bite appetizer, or you can give each guest a couple.
Yeah.
And they can sit down and use a knife and fork with it as well. So any way you want to serve these is good.
That is great, and especially again using the fresh herbs. It adds color again, but it also just flavor, right? So doing whatever. They're so pretty.
So this is really, really simple. But
again, this would be great to on the side of a salad as well. If you had a salad, and then just put one at the side of the plate, right? Just to add a color, and then you're getting a little bit of the goat cheese for the salad too. So
right,
that's just really, really nice.
there we go.
Neat, easy. See how easy that one was?
Yeah, so easy. We'll put a little bit of salt and pepper in there,
Okay.
and garnish with a chive slice. There you go. So simple,
Cute. I love it.
easy
That's great.
appetizer. Does that look pretty?
So nice.
All right, next would be something that you could eat as more of a main course.
I was actually surprised by this when you said you were going to skewer them with chicken. I'm sort of just associating them with being, because they are in a simple syrup, as a sweet thing. But this is going to be kind of cool.
Yeah. I'm a huge fan of sweet and savory, so anything you can pair it with. I mean, pork always goes nice with
actually,
with
pork would
something
be good.
sweet. So
Yeah.
I mean, that would be something very cool to try. You can do pork skewers or pork chops. So again, very simple. We'll do some chicken. Try not to get my hands too dirty. Couple pieces of chicken. Got some sliced green onion here.
That's neat.
And a flour.
So you have to be kind of strategic, make sure you're keeping it on there. But wow, look at that.
There we go. And the colors are pretty.
Almost looks kind of Hawaiian. That is really cool. I love that.
There we go. So a neat idea. So we'll
Yeah.
throw these in the oven, see how long they cook, but you could grill them quick on the barbecue.
I love it.
So how pretty is that?
That is really, really
I think
great.
that's gorgeous.
It's just a nice idea for entertaining, and it makes sense. I mean, these particular ones that TERRA has here at the store are from Australia, so they've come in and they're all packaged up nicely and ready for you. And all the ones that we had on the plate came from that jar, so you've got a good amount of them.
Yeah,
anyway,
I think
right?
there's about 10 to 12 per jar,
Perfect.
I believe.
Yeah.
And a lot of syrup to go along with it. Now you can use the syrup as well for a variety of different.
Sure, you could.
Of
Yeah,
different
that's the
things.
thing, because all this syrup comes in there. So
Right. So one of the things that we're going to do is make a little sauce for the chicken.
Okay.
So this is about half of the syrup, a teaspoon of hot sauce,
wow.
and we'll mix in a little bit of ginger with that. So ginger, a little bit goes a long way.
Yeah.
So what I do is I usually at the store just break off a little piece because you only need a little bit. And
I do too.
to peel it, just get a spoon and scrape it, and the peel comes off very easily. So that's the easiest way
that's
to
a
do
good
that.
idea. Okay.
And then you just peel it off and then dice it up. So that's what I've done there.
Okay.
About a tablespoon or so. So we'll mix that in, and this can be used as a dipping sauce, or you could just baste your chicken with it. Put a little bit on the chicken. So that's a nice little
That's
syrup
great
to
though.
go
That's
with
going to give it a nice little flavor, right?
So I'm going to put a little bit on the chicken
Okay.
for the cooking time. There we go.
Great. Awesome. And then you put it in the oven for how long?
I'll see how long it takes the chicken to cook.
Yeah.
Probably not between 5 and 10 minutes, probably,
pretty quickly,
and
right? With
and
the
it should be
chicken.
okay.
Very good.
Yeah.
All right. So when we come back, we're actually going to make cocktails.
Yes.
So that you
We'll
can
make
kind of get a
cocktail.
range of everything that you need. We'll continue to make some more of these skewers and just show you the different options with this really great idea. Again, it's hibiscus flower packed in a simple syrup, and it's just a gorgeous way to kind of add some color and some variety and impress your guests.
Yeah,
We'll be back with
exactly.
more in just a little bit.
Live color fully at Terra, where color lives.
Heritage Perennials presents Terra's Perennial Pick of the Week. The beautiful and classic bleeding heart takes on new form in this selection called Valentine. Cherry red flowers and ideal for dry shade. Heritage Perennials. Look for us in the blue pots.
Welcome back to Terra at Home. Again, it's the focus on the hibiscus flower today, and again in stock at Terra, and you can use it for so many different in so many different ways. Okay, so we officially, back with Chef Rachel here, have our lovely chicken skewers.
Right, so they were in the oven for about 12 minutes or so. So just keep an eye on them. It depends on your oven and the size of your chunks. I thought it would take a little less time, but about 12 minutes these ones took, and the green onion starts to cook a bit, so those look really nice. So you can serve those with a nice salad or something.
It'd be great
for a nice
and of course you
spring
could.
meal.
I'm sure that you can grill those on your barbecue easily enough too. So
That would be really
fine.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
look great. Okay, so now
the exciting part.
the exciting part, because if you're doing all this, you might as well pair it up with something lovely to drink.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about, is it this one you want here?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just a little
here
bit.
you go. This fabulous cocktail. Again, on the top, there's a recipe on the top of the jar from all of the different types of cocktails you can use. But of course, you can be creative, and you've come up with one for us today.
Right, this is just really simple, basically champagne cocktail.
Nah.
So, start with a one of these flowers in each glass. Let's see how easy this is going to be to
Yeah, I'm gonna say. I'll try too.
just kind of drop it in there.
There you go.
And you can add a little bit of syrup in there too.
Yeah, I like that idea. So again, of course, any type of sparkling wine, you can use real champagne if you want, or any type of sparkling wine.
Yep.
And it's just really gonna, it's such a beautiful cocktail. It's such a great idea, again, for parties and they're so pretty.
I'm going to experiment here.
Okay.
I'm going to start with some syrup in one and pour it in after in the other and see if it.
Okay.
See if there's a difference.
Sometimes when you do it like grenadine, right, when you put it in the bottom, it just kind of stays in the bottom. It looks neat.
So we'll see what both of these look like. Very nice.
I love this idea. So yeah, obviously, you can see that it's gone a little bit. That's not pretty. People will think you're so cool if you serve those at home, and you think you've gone to a lot of work, and it's so easy.
Right.
Such a great idea. So again, we've done the goat cheese balls inside of the hibiscus flower, and then of course doing a sweet and savory with the chicken, and then of course the cocktail.
Yeah,
So
so
you could go either way, right? Adding the syrup or not.
Right, and then if we add it in at the end, does it make much of a difference? No, I don't think so.
The bubbles seem to move it. but
Yeah,
I love
exactly.
it. Great
Yeah.
idea. So again, all the recipes, of course, are on our website, and you can go in and check out Chef Rachel's recipes. And again, just experiment. You can come pick up a jar of these at any of your Terra locations, and really just kind of you know, experiment and have some fun.
Have
right?
fun with it.
It's a great idea. It makes sense. Terra loves flowers. They love color. Add them to your food.
Oh,
let's put a little mint. Mint is good. We have herbs too.
fresh herbs.
And that makes it look
I wonder
really
how,
pretty.
maybe just set it right in there on top.
Go for it.
Beautiful.
Very nice. Thanks, Rachel.
There we go.
All right.
Nice.
It's been a good day at Terra. That's it for now. Have a good one.